Well, good afternoon and welcome on behalf of the Tufenkin Foundation. I am Marissa Mesropian-Fisher. I am part of Tufenkin Artisan Carpets now for over 15 years. I've been working with James, and it's part of the Tufenkin family. Today we are gathered here to listen to the good work of the foundation and to solicit your support on these very meaningful projects in Armenia. We are very, very excited today, of course, to have Serge Tankian with us and to have James, who doesn't very often come to his own events, as you know. But let me give you a little bit of background on the foundation. And I am going to read from my notes because it's important that I get it right, because it's important that you know what the foundation does. James launched the Tufenkin Foundation in 1999 to address the pressing social, economic, cultural, and environmental challenges facing Armenia. For almost 2 decades, the foundation has worked to meet these needs by pioneering projects that create changes in Armenian society. To date, the foundation has completed more than 70 projects in Armenia, including building and renovating houses, schools and clinics, supporting wounded soldiers, and building water supply and irrigation systems. While in Artsakh, cultivating its fertile lands and creating employment opportunities. Importantly, the foundation's aims are large-scale projects with the aim to create tangible and sustainable outcomes. I'd like to turn the program over now to my friend and colleague, Dr. Antranig Up, who's been with the Tufenkin Foundation since 2003. He now serves as a board member and is a director of development, supervising partnerships, fundraising, and special projects.
Delighted and thrilled to have all of you here with us today. This is really a festive occasion for me, and I dare say for James and for our foundation. In 20 years, we've come a long way, as has Armenia, frankly. And we look forward to doing a lot more that hopefully will keep pace with the changes that we've seen in Armenia today, and hopefully will continue. Just a few words of introduction, and I'm going to pass the baton to our guest speakers. The Tufenkin Foundation, I believe, occupies a special place among charitable organizations, because we don't simply hand out money and we don't simply give grants. We've always tried to help people to help themselves. And we have always tried to fill gaps where no one else is willing or able to do the right thing for Armenia and for Karabakh. So we've taken our precious resources, tried to fill vacuums, tried to play a venture role, if you will, planting a seed, hoping that that seed will bloom and grow into something, whether that be small NGOs in the 2000s that we helped to form in the environmental and social realm, when activism was still a new thing in the streets of Armenia. Whether that is resettlement activity in the borderlands of Artsakh, particularly the liberated territories, those green zones where no one really works. We took that on as sort of a sacred mission, that if we're going to keep Karabakh and take these borderlands off the table, off the negotiating table, we need to resettle them and economically develop them. So over 20 years, I think we've put our money where our mouth is. We have not stayed the same over 20 years. We've moved gradually from an emphasis on social protection to more and more supporting civic responsibility, civic activism, which in a sense mirrors the changes that are ongoing in Armenia today. So I invite you to learn more about our work. We have some handouts for you as you exit, but also take a look at our website and our Facebook page to learn more about the different projects that we engage in and how you can possibly get involved. Okay, having said as much, today's focus is on environmental activism with a specific focus on mining, which is one of the most difficult and some would say painful sectors of the Armenian economy today. Mining, frankly, has created a host of problems for the country, whether they be fiscal, in terms of The tax revenue, or lack thereof, that comes from mining, because mining, frankly, has been operating off the radar of legal authorities and legal taxation. And of course, mining, when not practiced responsibly, also has very deleterious effects environmentally and on public health. So the Tufenkian Foundation has been actively involved in promoting responsible mining legislation and in promoting and supporting those communities that wish to defend and protect their communities, to keep their drinking water clean, to keep their environment sound. As part of my job, I have to check our impact through our website, through our social media, through our Facebook presence. But when you do that, it's a double-edged sword. It's a curse and a blessing. Because when you put stuff up on Facebook, you have to deal with the responses. And as you know, the responses can range from here to here and beyond. So when we advertised this event, I kind of got ticked off at first because a few wise guys who were in the mining industry in Armenia said, the Tufenkian Foundation's against mining. This event is designed to torpedo the mining industry, and they're bringing a rock star who doesn't know anything about mining, whatever. So I bit my tongue. I really wanted to give it to him, but I said, better to just leave it alone.
I'll give it to him.
You'll give it to him? Okay, that's a good one. But if it isn't clear already through what Serge said and through what James will say, we are not against mining per se. We want mining to be practiced responsibly. And this is why the Tufenkian Foundation is the principal funder of the MLRI, the Mining Legislation Reform Institute, which is designed to promote and ultimately pass legislation in Parliament that is enforceable, that will create a new regime for mining that is clean, progressive, and hopefully will actually feed into the state coffers and enrich the country, rather than enriching the pockets of the few.